Hi guys, John here. Git is a complex beast and sometimes it sounds a bit overwhelming for newcomers. So today I want to show you the most useful Git commands and understand how to use them properly. So let's jump into it. Before starting with Git, you need first to configure your local email and name that will appear in Git commits. So as you can see here with this command, I configure my email here and my name. You can check the current global configuration using --list. You can see it's set here. So to start off with Git, you have two options. First is to initialize a new repo locally using git init name of your project. It creates a folder where the Git project is located, so as you can see here, or you can clone an existing repo, which is the usual case. So for example, on GitHub you can go to a repo here and select one repo address, sshkill for example. Here you copy it, you go here, and then you use it with the clone command. It will create a folder named by repo name, and you can go in it. So you see here. A very useful Git command is status, that allows to see the current files modification on Git, but also the current untracked files, as you can see here. Before going into more detail around git add and git commit commands, I would like to show you basically the typical workflow with Git. So here, as you can see in this diagram, you have the local part and the remote part where you're saving your work on the server. So here in the local part, you have your working directory, which is basically your own folders and files. And first, when you're working with files with Git, you first need to put them in the staging area. And then all files that have been added in this area can be committed into one commit, which is appearing in the local repository. Then when it's done, you can push all your commits, local ones, into the remote repo, and then they will be saved into the server and it can be shared with others. To add files to the staging area, you need to use the git add command. You can use it with a single file, a modified or untracked file, like this. So it will add the modification into the staging area prior to a new commit. You can also add everything in the current folder to the staging area, like this. So if we check now, both files, the untracked one and the modified one, are in the staging area prior to a new commit. If you want to add to the staging area only tracked files but not the untracked files, you can use the option -u, like this. So as you can see, the untracked file is still untracked. It will not be added to the staging area. So if I would like to add all files, I could use this to the staging area, as you see here. So now I'm ready to commit locally those modifications. So to do so, you use the command commit with a message. So the files are already mentioned in the staging area, so you just have to put a message here. So if you check now git status command, it tells that your branch is ahead of a remote branch by one commit. You can check your commit using the git log command. So as you can see here, it's appearing on the top of the list with the git message, the author, the date, and the commit ID. It's possible to combine add and commit into a single command using git commit -am with a message. Note that untracked files will not be added this way. So as you see here, I have this don't have me file and a modified file. So here the command will add all modifications of tracked files to the next commit directly without using git add. So as you can see here, the untracked file wasn't included. And my new commit is here. It's possible to modify your local commit message using the command git commit --amend. It will open your default text editor and you can modify the message here. As you can see here, the message has been updated locally, so it's prior to git push. So now if you want to send your modifications into your remote repo, you have to use the git push command. So as you can see here, I have 2 commits ahead from my original branch, which is in the remote repo. So just to send it to the server, you basically have to type this git push command. And now the modification is sent to the server. So usually when you're working with Git, you want to work with branches. So as you can see here, usually you have a master branch and other branches. So for example, you may have a develop branch, and on this develop branch you will start your modification in some topic branches or feature branches, and then you include those modifications at the time in develop or master branch. So to use branches in Git, you need to use the git branch command that by default lists all the current branches in your local repo. So as you can see here, I have only one branch, which is the master branch. So let's say we want to create, using the -c command, a develop branch. So now the develop branch is created. It's possible to create and switch to new branches directly using git checkout or git switch. So with git checkout, you have to use the -b option with the name of the new branch, like this. So now I've created a new feature 1 branch and switched to it. You can do the same with git switch using the -c command. So now I've created a branch feature 2 and switched to it. You can switch back to the previous branch using git checkout - or git switch - like this. So I was on master branch and now I'm on feature 1 branch. If I type git switch - I'll come back to master branch. So the question is, why there's 2 commands to do the same thing? So basically checkout appeared prior to switch, because git switch command was introduced in Git version 2.23, I think, back in 2019. to clarify a bit the way to switch and create branches, basically, because checkout was used for several things. So if you want to integrate remote changes into your local repo, for example, here I will create a modification on the server on GitHub. Now on the terminal, I just have to type git pull, and it will integrate the remote changes, the remote commit, into my local repo. You can see here. So if I do another modification inside that file on the server, so now I'm no more up to date locally. So to explain a bit what git pull does, so when you type git pull, it's actually doing a git fetch, which is basically retrieving all the modification from the server, but not applying them locally. So now if I type git status, it says my branch is behind the server by one commit. So I could do a git pull to do that, but what the git pull does is just fetching using the git fetch and git merge. Basically try to merge the remote branch into the local one. So now it's up to date. So basically when you do git pull, it's doing a git fetch and a git merge at the same time. But if you want to merge two branches locally, so let's try to switch to feature one branch, then modify a file, okay, so now I have local modification. Let's commit locally. So now let's switch to master, or develop, maybe develop branch, and we would like to merge the feature one branch. Okay, it's done. So the commit is here. So now master and develop branches have diverged. So let's try to merge develop branch into master branch now. Okay, so now we have conflicts. So if you open the file with conflicts inside VS Code, you have this help here that allows you to accept the current changes or incoming ones. So for example, I will accept the incoming ones, save the file, and now I can type git add I type git add dot and git commit to create the merge commit, save, and now we're good to go. So it created a merge commit here, as you can see here. That's it for today. I hope you found this video useful. Please click on the like button and see you in the next one.